The Renault 5 is back. Sort of. And in case you didn't know, it's electric. It's scheduled for an official unveiling on February 26th at the Geneva Motor Show. But the internet has its own agenda. If the leaked images swirling around the internet are anything to go by, the new Renault 5 E-Tech Electric is a blast to let it pass. Really good eye for Leo future. Renault says it's staying true to the eye-catching concept car revealed back in 2021 ahead of its full debut at the 2024 Geneva Motor Show. And based on these weird rich, it's 7 degrees and then 50, okay? And it was a very device in the name of engineering, which the charm of the original Renault 5 is alive and well. Boxy? Check. Quirky headlights that stare right into your soul? Absolutely. You'll either love it or, well, you'll probably grow to love it. Give it time. There are a few noticeable changes compared to the concept. Most obvious is the addition of a big old air intake on the front bumper. Practical, but not exactly what a nod to the original R5. That said, those funky headlights with their pupil centers perfectly mimic the originals. Plus, there's an illuminated 5-inch badge on the hood that acts as a charge indicator. Chew, if a bit gimmicky, and with the potential to grow old-fashioned. Renault is clearly playing up the nostalgia factor with a bright yellow launch paint color and an ad campaign centered around the tagline, "R5 valuation is back." Smart, because this gives the little EV needs all the help it can get breaking through not only an increasingly crowded market, but a market that tiptoes back and forth, not knowing it wants to go all in on EVs or go back to the old smoky ways. Renault claims a 249 miles range on its 52 kilowatt-hour battery, but take that with a hefty dose of salt. Real-world mileage is always less, especially when you consider this little hatch is meant to be a zippy urban runabout. You'll sit on the same Amp-R Smart platform, formerly CMP BEV, as other Stellantis group offerings. And while there's talk of fancy multi-link rear suspension, don't expect it to handle like a hot hatch. This car is about quirky charm, not corner carving. With the 53 kilowatt hours, we can expect it to weigh around 3,197 pounds, which, though not excessively a lot, will dampen its performance a bit. The interior, from what we can see in the leaked photos, features retro-inspired fabrics and that massive Google-powered infotainment screen dominating the dash. Let's hope Renault's worked some bugs out of that system since the Megane E-Tech. Tech is just not charming. And 154.3 inches long, just a smidge shorter than its twins, Fiat 600e and Peugeot E208, the R5 is squarely in city car territory. Renault is pushing its R5 6.9 to 5 million, and safety to the management for 44,000 euros. One, an amenity of 24.5 million euros, a Japanese advocated by 45.5 million. In competition with more established EVs. When it comes to pricing, there's a catch, as always. The promised $26,800 applies to the models with the smaller 40 kilowatt-hour battery, which won't be available from the launch. The launch model will sport a 52 kilowatt-hour battery pack, which means a higher price. Unless Renault is about to pull a big fat white rabbit out of a hat. And what the type of motor. So what will power this Yellow City rocket? That's hardly a secret, since the R5 is a technological twin with the likes of the Jeep Avenger or the Fiat 600e. We should expect to see the same 115 kilowatt electric motor powering front wheels. There's more good news than mailer. The 240 horsepower train, first to launch in the Abarth 600e, will most likely make its way to the faster version of the R5, the Alpine A290, although the French version will push the power up to 268 horsepower.
Suddenly the market for electric hot hatches became crowded.
Is the Renault 5 E-Tech Electric the quirky affordable EV we've been waiting for? It seems so, as long as Renault can deliver on its affordability promise. Looking at Europe's most popular EV in the making. If Renault gets the pricing wrong, we will be looking at an overpriced nostalgia trip. We'll have more details to go over tomorrow. Let's hope there are still some good surprises left to discover.